Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to OpenTTD Part 2. My name is SmileyMK93 and we're back in the game. In the first episode we started our company and built a few train lines and started generally engaging in some somewhat underhand business practices to get rid of the competition, such as these blocking vehicles. So in this episode we're going to continue where we left off. As one of our AI crashes. Let's just get rid of some of this land that we don't need anymore because it's not guarding anything, and we need the money. As you can see, we've still got 110 grand of loan to pay off. Yeah, blocking's working quite nicely, it would seem. Yep, those vehicles don't seem to be making any money, which is fantastic news for us. So I noticed here that there's a stockyard to the northwest of here. There's a farm that produces livestock, and obviously those of you who play OpenTTD will know that you can transport livestock from a dairy farm to a stockyard. So that's what we're going to do to try and make a bit of extra money. Currently we have 3 trains, of course, from the last episode. So if we build some more trains, we should make some more money, which we can then use to shit on the AI. So this is a livestock train. Right, I think I've actually made the station slightly too long, because we need 162 tons of livestock, so 175. Each livestock van carries 25 tons, so I need 7 tons, which is a 4-tile station. I'm just placing a bit of track there to provide some sort of protection in case anyone wants to come in here and steal my stuff. Let me just turn that. So we've got a bit of an issue here. Gotta get past this road. The only problem is it's not our road, so we can't delete it. Which is not ideal, so instead of building a tunnel we're just gonna have to just go over the road via a bridge. And I'm just gonna move over one tile just so we have a bit more room for the curve so trains can go around it faster. So we want to be careful when we get to this town, Cockshit Hill. We don't really want to build a railway through the town because that's going to make it difficult to... That's going to get the ire of the local authority on our back. And that might make it more difficult to build things later. So what I'm going to do instead is try and tunnel underneath the town. Like you see here. And that just reduces the amount of building we've done in the area of the town, so the local authority won't mind as much. And we now need to get this terrain through the valley on the left side that you can see there. I like to play this game quite realistically, so you won't see any. So I've actually turned off building on slopes. So you won't see any horrible foundation retaining walls. Makes it a bit more realistic, forces me to build and the AI to build with the terrain, as you would have to in real life. So I'm just extending the train line now to the stockyard, trying to follow the terrain as best I can. And there's the station. Need a bit of protection here. It looks like someone else is building a road to the stockyard, so let's just cut them off right now. Put in a bit of protection ourselves, as we did in part 1. not going to bother protecting the rest of it now because buying farmland is expensive. Requires more money than we have at the moment. If you'll notice, this arable farm produces sugar beet, which we can transport to the sugar refinery that's near the farm from which we're transporting the livestock to the stockyard. So, and obviously we've blocked off all the lorries by deleting the road and buying land, so there's no real competition threat. So there's an opportunity here for us to expand on this line we've just built by building a grain service between the farm and the sugar refinery, or sugar service I should say. So, but before we can do that, let's get this livestock train on the tracks. I think I've actually just spelled that wrong, haven't I? Oh well. And where can we take food to that isn't a town? I don't really want to use food though, because the problem is that the stockyard isn't going to produce enough food to justify a train service. I mean, we'd have to use road, and obviously if we use road then we're helping the AI, and we can't really block ourselves off. So I'm trying to use trains as much as possible. So while we're waiting for the train to livestock train to complete its first journey, let's get the grain service set up. Got the station built. I think I actually built it the wrong way round. Need to build it there. Can't build a tunnel because it's quite a long tunnel. There we go, and now we're going to build our first quote-unquote main line. I actually need to make the station a bit longer because sugar beet wagons can only take 20 tons of cargo at a time, so we're going to need 8 of them at least. I actually need to extend the livestock train to be a bit more efficient. I think I made it 6 tiles long. Now we get to building this main line, so you get to see how I do that. So it's going to be a twin track main line. We're going to have left-handed running as per British practice. So obviously we want to try and keep the existing line in use, so you don't touch that if we can help it. And just like in real life, we try to follow the terrain as best we can and try to build as compactly as we can. And I've just spotted an opportunity with some terraforming to make a better alignment to allow faster running. Some slight terrain issues here. I'm not just trying to figure out which is what's the best way to do this. And I've just accidentally deleted 4 tiles of water, which has just lost me a lot of money. So hopefully red will go away quite soon because they're losing a fair bit of money. Should have enough room to build around there and still keep in reasonably gentle curves. So we don't need to rebuy the land because, well, they can't exactly build on our train tracks, can they? The AI. We just need to put some signals down. So what I like to do is have the one-way path at the end of a two-track section or before a junction, and then fill in the rest of the line with regular basic one-way block signals. For those of you who don't know, if you click once, that builds a two-way block signal. If you click again, it builds a one-way block signal. So trains can only travel in the correct direction for the block signal. So on this left track here, they can only go up, and on the right track, they can only go down. They can't pass backwards for a one-way block signal. So the advantage of that over path signals is it's cheaper, apparently uses less performance, and it also looks better because all the signals are green instead of red. Which I just think looks a bit more realistic. It just looks better. So that sugar train is now loading. Obviously we want to, so while we're waiting, let's pay off a fair chunk of our loan and to get rid of some of the competition, because it looks like light blue wants to expand their train line. So let's put a stop to that right away. Fortunately they're smart and go away quickly. There's a port there. Just doesn't seem. There is a farm. The trouble is there's nothing really to. There's nowhere near. No industries near the farm to take the grain and sugar, so no real point in building a farm supply service to that farm. Otherwise we just need a really long train route, which would take too long to build. And the AI could go in and nick it anyway, which we don't want. Just block off some of this routing. Okay, so we've now got the HST, that's good. Not that we're probably going to use it anytime soon. Sell off a bit of this land, just make a bit of extra money to pay off our loan. Oh, looks like I've forgotten to add in some path signals to make this junction work properly. So you put a path signal on the entrances to the junction from the single track side, as you saw there, and from stations. So trains can take any route to the correct track. So we're going to go for, I think, 12 carriage sugar train. So it can carry 240 tons. It should be an fairly efficient service. Going to need to extend the terminal at the station at the sugar refinery. See, once this livestock train has made its way off, we can actually build the station properly. As you can see there, we've just paid off our loan as well, so fantastic. We've now got 5 trains making quite a lot of money. Unfortunately, some of these road blockers don't seem to be working. Some of the red lorries are still making too much money. They're still profitable. Not hugely profitable, but still profitable nonetheless. So, I mean, we seem to be making a bit of money now, so perhaps it's time to retire some of these road blockers and bring in their heavyweights. replace them with trains, because road vehicles can't drive through trains as far as I know in this game. So I think it's time to bring in the heavyweights. As you know. So trying to run the train into the lorry isn't going to work, it would seem. I mean, we can try. As the train and the lorry are both too slow for it to really work, for you to be able to trap the lorry. So it's quite clear that that's not going to work. But nonetheless, we need to stop the AI making money. So what we're going to do instead is retire the road blockers, and in its place we're just going to park a train. And this Manly Morale DMU seems to be good because it's a whole tile long. You just need to stop it in the right place, which with a mouse that likes to double click can be a bit tricky. So let's rename this Blocker Train 1 now. And now the vehicles are really stuck. We've still got a boatload of money, £66,000. And yeah, I think we're winning. I think Grey's in trouble. But let's just make sure that he runs out of money by blocking off this service. There seem to be two services running here. There's something quite funny about parking trains in front of other people's lorries. We're making some money. This main line in particular is proving especially profitable. So we don't have to worry too much about money. So we can just more readily use blocker trains because we can afford it, and they're a bit more effective than road blockers. Notice those farm is the blue are carrying farm supplies from the lime kiln to the arable farm, but they're not really making enough money for me at this stage for me to worry about them. This grey, I think it's clay they're transporting. Anyways, this grey service is making too much money for that company, so we need to put a stop to it. But I want to do that with a blocker train. Okay, just scouring the map for opportunities. I mean, now that we've blocked off that grain service from Buckhurd Bottom Farm to the grain mill to the south, perhaps we can steal the cargo for ourselves. We're not going to be able to transport any sugar from it because there's only one sugar refinery in the map, and that's miles away. The grain, on the other hand, though, that's pretty good. The only issue is that Blue are supplying the farm supplies. We don't want to encourage them. If I do that, then I'll have to keep the Blue alive. The Blue farm service supply service going to justify the 300 tons of grain a month. So, a bit of a problem here. Although Blue probably won't last much longer, looking at their financial statements, but they do have a bit of loan in reserve. Which is, however, the clay that's supplying it has now been blocked off, thanks to a certain DMU in the way. So that might have to wait. Although we could supply the... this port isn't too far away. We could supply the port with farm supplies. Or deliver farm supplies from the port to the farm. And there's also engineering supplies from the port to the dredging site, which we can then... From there we can take sand to the brickworks and stone to the lime kiln at Buckhurd Bottom, which isn't too far away. There are big opportunities to make a lot of money here. And then we could because we'd be delivering farm supplies to Buckhurd Bottom Farm, we could do the grain service. And it'd be reliable. I think this is too good an opportunity to pass up. The issue is how we're going to build the station here, because our existing chemicals train is in the way. Can't do ships because you can't refit a ship to carry engineering or farms engineering supplies. But we do need to get engineering supplies from the port to this dredging site. Train's going to be a bit too long for a bridge, but we do have money to do some terraforming in the water. Not worried about Gray being at Lusty Waterside because he's been blocked off. Trying to explore ways of fitting a station in and building this bridge. Don't really have a choice, we're going to have to elevate the chemicals line over the line to carry the farm supplies to the arable farm. Need to actually be able to see what I'm doing. I think all the connections are there. Let's pop in the signals. We're gonna have to build this bridge in stages. Still a bit too long. Just need to put a station in there. We had to do a bit of terraforming to get the station within catchment area, which has cost us quite a lot of money. I'm just gonna give this a nice wide berth. That should do it. And that line will lead to the brickworks eventually. Just get everything set up. Hopefully this train will pay for the line to the brickworks, and the farm supplies train will pay for the grain service. I noticed though that we are now in 1980, which is as far as I wanted to go. And oh, Mogul's Transcorp is in trouble. That's the red. Oh, that'll be big. That will be big. So now that engineering supplies train is good, we're going to set up the farm supplies route. We're going to borrow a bit of this chemicals line to do it. Again, competitor owned road in the way, unfortunately. This will be another double track main line, just like the one we built earlier. Gonna need to wait for a bit more money to become available before we can build the bridge over the little channel. Made very little money that. Take over the red. Sorry, we can't afford it. Extend this train somewhat. Reduce it to make it more efficient. So rather than taking out loan, I'm just waiting for one of our trains to give us enough money to build the bridge. I'll do the terraforming to be more precise. We're gonna have to break off from the main line at some point, and this seems like a pretty sensible place to do it. So let's just prepare and convert this all to main line. Need more cash for the tunnel. That would bring us up perfectly. So while we're waiting, we're just going to put the approach to the tunnel in place. Just wait a bit. Fast forward the game and bankrupt. The Reds have gone. Not going to delete any of their roads because it costs money. There might be a couple of blocker trains we can get rid of. Still need more money. So we may as well just get everything in place. So blocker train 3 can be safely retired, it would seem, because that was blocking a red route, although I don't really want to get rid of it because I don't want to encourage any other AI to go in there and nick the route for themselves. We'll just leave it for now. We'll go and steal it later. I mean, there is some money in that paper mill to be made, but not now. We've got other things to worry about, such as this farm supplies train. Getting near to the end of 1980, which is when I wanted to end the episode, so this is probably going to be the last thing we do in this part. In fact, now that we're supplying farm supplies to Buckard Bottom Farm, we don't need that blue. That blue farm supply service has been rendered somewhat redundant. Just gotta wait for this train to load up. Figured out a better alignment. Chopper starts construction near Sleek of Tarty. As I said, this blue farm supplies service is somewhat redundant, but it's still making money. Some blocking may be in order. So we're just going to wait for the farm supplies train to make a complete journey, adjust the length of it, and then we'll call that an episode probably, because we're in 1981 now, and I did say we're going to do it in 5-year stints at the start of this series. Doesn't look like we're going to have to make this train a bit longer. Unfortunately, in this train set I'm using, the piece goods wagons can only carry 13 crates of farm supplies or engineering supplies, which means you have to have really long trains. These must be bloody big crates. Just speed up the game a little bit so that we get this farm supplies train done a bit quicker. So we need what, 182 crates, which is about 14 cars. So we need an 8-tile station. Gonna need to do some adjustments to the existing network to make it all work. I'm gonna need to do so at the then we're going to need to rebuild the station at the other end to make it just as long. I think that's... there we go. So I think that's pretty much it for this episode, as I accidentally deleted my station. So at this point I'd like to say thank you for watching. I have been Smiley MK, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.